when it comes to team augment yourself or don't, I'm pretty sure I know what camp you fall into, but which one are you going to decide to go into? Because I feel like it's going to happen within the next 5 years. We're going to start seeing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, this shit is real today. Like Elon Musk has already, through his Neuralink company, he's got pig brains where you can literally watch every synapse in a certain area. I think it has to do with their nose fire. You've got humans, cochlear implants are already real. So I will definitely be team augmentation. I just won't be an early adopter. I will make sure that technology is nice and proven before I do it. But yeah, I think ultimately the only way forward for our species is to augment. And so I think that's really an inevitable part. And because I would, if I could, I would truly live forever. Like I would have no beef with that whatsoever. And the only way for us to pull that off is to augment long enough that we can solve some of the other problems so that we can live, say 150 or 200 years. So yeah. And whether it's machine interfaces or whether it's, biological upgrades like growing organs and vats, which they can actually do. I don't know, nor do I really care. I just want to see as much of the future as I can.
So do you ever I totally agree. Like I want one of those Neuralinks again after it's been on the market for a little bit. So if there is any recalls, like I'm not in the first, second, or maybe third wave. But you see a lot of people that are very anti this and they're like, well, what if the wrong person gets their hands on this technology and now they can do mind control? Because it automatically goes to mind control, right? Do you think that that's a possibility, or do you think you have to just trust the founder, right? Like I obviously don't know Elon Musk, but he seems like a pretty great guy, so I trust him with my brain. So I would just shop different companies before deciding. Like if it was a government ran thing, absolutely not. But private market, if I like the guy, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a real thing. I think people have to be really, really careful. I think that what you're going to find is they will use something like the blockchain. So to make a change to your brain, all 250 million as of today, computers would have to come to an agreement about, yes, this is an authorized change. So hacking something like that would be very, very difficult. It only becomes plausible when you have that kind of hacker resistance. Because the one that really freaks me out, imagine that consciousness is something that you can sort of grab, right? You can upload it or whatever. You could change somebody's sense of time, make them feel like they were trapped for 1,000 years and have them suffer at peak amplitude for the entire 1,000 years.
Wow.
Right? That's some terrifying shit. So you, of course, have to protect against that. But it's there's so many things that we have to protect against now. So trying to remove yourself from the world, I understand the impulse, and for sure, and that's part of what we were trying to explore in Neon Future, which, by the way, don't think I don't see over your shoulder. Thank you. That's very kind. That is that bifurcation of knowing that some people will, in a religious fashion, refuse, and that the species will. And I'm saying this is actually going to happen. Whether it happens in 10 years or it happens in 10,000 years, I don't know, but it will happen. It will bifurcate. And some people will be what in the comic I referred to as authentic. And then you have the other side, which is augmented. And eventually they won't be the same species. And so it'll be, there are people that look at that with, sort of great horror and disdain. And for me, it's such a fascinating exploration. And because I'm not nihilistic and I believe in humanity's groping for a more beautiful future and on balance, because there will be tragedies, but on balance, somehow, some way, despite the odds and how cruel humans can be, on balance, we've moved in one direction,
right?
And that's up and to the right. So, I think that will continue.
Yeah, I agree too. I'm if you look at it at scale, we continue to improve over time. There's still some garbage in there and some people still suck, and that's just that's going to be inevitable as long as there's people. But overall, we're doing pretty good.